Welcome viewers to the newest edition of AFL North Coast Footy Show. G'day PT.
G'day mate, how are you?
I'm terrific, thank you. Exciting times. Finals upon us in the juniors.
It is mate, but before we rip into that one, I just wanted to mention to you, just a bit of a tangent, because I know sometimes you like it when we go up on tangents here.
I love it.
Saw a report the other day, last weekend, crime rates in Melbourne significantly down.
Why is that?
Collingwood played in Sydney, mate. But the good news,
Bang!
there was only one reported crime in Sydney during that period.
Right.
When the Swans won the match and stole it from the Pies.
Wow. Nice, PT.
Thanks, mate.
Great start.
Back to the juniors, eh?
I love that. That's impressive. Didn't know where you were going with that, but that's quality. Sorry, Edie. I still haven't mentioned that to Edie when I've been talking through the week. I think he's probably struggling with it. But yeah, juniors, under 11s.
Yeah, well, I mean, big congratulations straight off the bat to all the teams that have qualified for juniors.
Yeah.
So, Nambucca Valley Lions in only their second season, that's phenomenal. Yep. Northern Beaches, Port White, Breakers Dark in 11s.
Yep.
Grafton, Macleay Valley, Breakers and Port in 13s.
Yep.
Breakers and Grafton, Port and Macleay Valley in the youth girls. And Sawtell and Grafton and Bellow in the 15s boys. Yeah,
it's great to have a real variety of clubs in the mix there. Obviously some repeat names, but great to have a good variety and what's shaping up to be a really good final series. I'm really looking forward to this Nambucca versus Northern Beaches under 11s clash. Top of the table versus second. Nambucca are undefeated.
Yes.
But Northern Beaches have got a very little team as well, so it should be a great game.
Yeah, it should be. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and then minor semi, Port White and Breakers Dark.
Yep.
And credit to those two clubs. Start of the season, obviously, you know, the white and the dark in the name there signifies the fact that they took a punt and they great numbers. They split into two teams.
Yeah.
And despite that, you know, they've still been able to get teams through to semis, which is credit to both clubs.
Yeah, absolutely. It was really good that they've been able to do that, and it's great for the competition to be expanding with team numbers. So,
yeah. So
that's really, really good. Under 13s, Grafton, who were minor premiers, playing Macleay Valley Eagles, who defending premiers of the under 13 title. So that should be an absolute belter.
Yeah, it should be a ripper, that one. Yeah, absolutely.
That's at Richo. All these major semis are at Richo at
Yes.
Sawtell. And then Wayne Richards Park holding the minor semis down at Port Macquarie. So that should be a really, really good game.
Yeah, 13's minor semi Breakers v Port again. So
Yep.
it's going to be a Breakers v Portathon down there at Wayne Richards Park. And I guess, you know, just shout out there too to the Bellow Bulldogs, who are probably the luckiest team in the competition. Couldn't quite sneak into the semis. Results didn't fall their way.
No.
They lost. Port won. And you know that age group was just so tight that you know you couldn't afford a loss in the last round or you missed out.
Yeah, absolutely. So it was a great game, Port Breakers and Bellow on Sunday. I heard in the 13s. It was a really good game. So that's fantastic. So unlucky to Bellow, but good luck to those four teams in the 13s. Youth girls, Breakers minor premiers will be playing Grafton at Richo.
Yeah, that should be a great game. Both of those teams have been super strong all year.
Yep.
Got some real quality players throughout. So that'll be a ding-dong battle, I would imagine. And then Port Macquarie Magpies through to prelim final the following week. So winner of Breakers and Grafton straight through to the granny.
Yep.
And then the loser of that knows they're playing Port the next week.
Yeah.
And then 15 Sawtell v Grafton, mate.
Yeah, that should be a great game. Grafton have been getting better and better all year. They've got some kids that have joined sort of in the back half of the year. So I think they can be competitive with Sawtell. Sawtell have certainly got to go in favourites, but stranger things have happened.
Absolutely, yeah, and just like with the girls, you know, winner of that straight through to grand final.
Yep.
Loser has got Bellingen lying in wait next week in a preliminary final.
And that'll be a great game. You know, let's say Sawtell win and go through to the grand final. Grafton and Bellow have been neck and neck all year, so that should be really good.
Called it early.
What's that?
Result of that one?
Sawtell through.
Have we got a scoop here?
Oh, we haven't got a scoop,
No,
mate.
okay.
But Yoda, he's a good coach, so you can probably get the job done. But Grafton will be having a crack, don't worry.
Yeah, so like you said, Cross, all the major semis down at Richardson Park. Both grounds going to be in use. So I think it starts 10:55, and then the second set of games will be at 12:20. So you know, get yourself down there. 4 quality games, all virtually at the same time.
Yep.
And then a couple of games down at Wayne Richards Park as well. So get down and have a look at that if you're around.
Should be great. Seniors, mate, one round to go. But last week there was some, I suppose, defining victories with Sawtell becoming the minor premiers for this year, beating Port.
Yeah, that's right. So they've had a chance to do that the last couple of weeks and just couldn't get it across the line. First week they needed more than one result to go their way, which didn't happen. But beat Port down at Wayne Richards Park, and that sealed the minor premiership for them. So, in what we all thought, and I think they thought, was going to be a rebuilding year. After mass retirements, end of season last year, losing grand final, they bounced back phenomenally well.
Yeah, they have.
Recruited well. Got a couple of guys back who were going to retire.
Sure.
Johnny Farnham and Dame Nelly Melba both turned out for Sawtell this year.
The last stand, the final tour.
So well done to them. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Breakers beat Grafton. Grafton sort of had a really good month there but couldn't crack a win. I think, when it sort of became mathematically impossible for them, it sort of took a bit of wind out of their sails, and they're doing it tough a little bit at the moment.
Yeah, I umpired that game. They were missing quite a few of their better players. So, they did try hard, but just lacking numbers and just a few key personnel down.
Yeah, and certainly Nick Stanlenvelt, the Noodle.
Yes.
He took advantage of that.
He did.
So,
he played very well. Kicked 14 goals.
14.
I have to go back to the archives, as Barry Hall said there on AFL one day, to find out whether that's some sort of a record. Some people might know. We probably have to ask Jimmy. Maybe Jimmy might know. Jimmy Woodlock.
Well,
but it's
Brett Greenshields is the man. He's the one who corrected me last time I put the call out.
Right. Okay.
But I can tell you, I do seem to recall that 2 years ago, I think Big Leaf Stewart kicked 15-6 or something in a match. So.
Bad luck, Noodle. Shouldn't have given those 2 or 3 off.
No.
Actually, I'm joking, Noodle. That was really good to see you do that. He gave at least one to Shade and one over the top to someone else, very unselfish. And that was great play. So, congratulations to Sawtell. Final round this week, mate.
Well, mate, before we do, we should also just acknowledge the other game of the week to play is Sawtell v Port Women.
That's right. How could I forget?
And Sawtell have had Kira Bassett, who's been standout for him at full forward all year.
Correct.
I think it's the first game Kira's missed. And I guess the big question mark was Pink concert, I believe.
As you do.
Hopefully Pink wasn't in hospital throwing her guts up and she got to see that one.
That's right.
I guess big question mark for Sawtell was, could they kick some goals? And they slotted Casey Wikalotu up to full forward.
Right.
Casey, who's kicked 3 goals for the season to that point, and Casey casually slotted 6. So got the job done for them there.
Okay. Got a good replacement if needed.
Absolutely.
That's impressive. That's a good effort.
And obviously didn't leave too big a gap in the midfield because the ball obviously got up there enough times for the kicks.
Exactly. That's right. Probably slotted Saunders or someone like that into the midfield a bit more, maybe.
Maybe so.
Excellent. So final round this week, mate. Port hosting the Breakers.
I was going to say down in Port, but obviously if they're hosting, that's where that's happening. Well spotted. So Port and Breakers. So Breakers, I think, was it 5-game winning streak? I think they're up to now. So they're the form team of the competition. And they'll be looking to keep that going with one eye to the final series. Port haven't knocked off Breakers since the first time they played.
Right.
Although they're into the finals, I guess they'll be wanting to prove a point that they can beat teams like Sawtell and Breakers when they get to finals time. Exactly. So this is their big chance to prove it down on their home patch. And then Grafton and Sawtell up at Elm Oval, mate. Yeah,
so hopefully the Tigers can put up a reasonable performance against Sawtell. And finished off their year reasonably well, even though so they won't be in the finals this year, being a 3-team final competition this year.
Yeah.
The other...
and should you say there too that, Grafton have got a big fundraiser that night, big function, important function. So, hopefully, I would imagine that'll drag a lot of footy people out and out and around, and hopefully some of those get down to the ground, and some of those guys who've been registered and playing a few games this year, that'll be enough incentive for them to finish the season well. So hopefully they put a strong team on the park and give Sawtell a decent hit out.
So that fundraisers for Bags, Warren Bagnall, having a bit of a battle with cancer, which is pretty well known around the footy community now. So, but I've seen him around a number of times, rep footy and stuff like that. It was great. So he's up and about and seems to be he's doing well. So that's great.
Doing well.
Yeah. So good on your Bags. Neither PT or I can get there, unfortunately.
Yeah. We hope you have a great night, mate, and we hope that everything goes really well for the whole footy club and yourself in particular.
And I'm going to drop something in for you to auction, raffle, do whatever you want with. later this week. So, hope that night goes well and the Tigers can put up a good show.
Yeah, absolutely. And then, as you were going to say, I think, mate, that
Match of the round,
full
perhaps?
round of the footy. Match of the round, I guess, in a sense, is going to be Port v Breakers in the Rezzies.
Yep.
Because really, that is the only game coming into this round that we've got that has a live potential impact ladder-wise in terms of finals matches.
So we can have a live ladder situation going on Saturday afternoon early?
Not sure.
No, I don't think so.
So basically, Breakers and Sawtell obviously not in action, so they can't contribute to the outcome here. But they're basically locked on points on the ladder, second and third respectively. With obviously second getting a double chance in the final series. So there's 9 percentage points difference between them.
Okay.
Port have been the strongest team there all year. So if true to form, if Port Macquarie do beat Breakers, it'll be about how much do they win by.
Yeah,
do
right.
they win by enough that the Breakers percentage takes a big enough hit that they drop to third and Sawtell sneak up to second. So,
interesting.
Yeah, absolutely.
Should be good. So good luck to both teams there.
Yeah.
And a bit of talent news, mate.
Yeah, that's right. And I mean, it seems like pretty much every week we've got talent news because there are so many good players in our competition.
Absolutely.
And players who were formerly in our competition who've moved on to bigger and better things.
Yep.
Who are achieving great stuff. So we've got this weekend New South Wales ACT Rams are playing in the final round of the Under-17 Futures Championship against Vic.
Yep.
And there are 4 North Coast boys all in action for New South Wales ACT, mate. 2 who are still local.
Yep.
And 2 who've gone to Sydney to pursue their opportunities. So big shout out to Kai Wilson from Port.
Yes.
From Ben Gibbo from the Breakers. His former club mate Harry Parker, who's now down in Sydney. And big Hamish Allen from Grafton. So all 4 boys turning out for New South Wales ACT in that game.
That's a massive performance at that age group of under-17s. Listed 22 and 4 have played their junior footy on the North Coast. So that's magnificent. So well done to all of those lads and certainly the coaches and the clubs that have developed them throughout their junior footy.
Yeah, spot on, mate. And then you spotted something through the week
Yeah,
with young Jake Brown?
So just happened to click on something on afl.com.au around who's dominating in the state leagues and things like that. I was actually looking to see who was going to be coming back from the Tigers, see how Basher Hooley went in the
Clearance King
in the VFL and all that sort of stuff. So, but then happened to see down in Sydney that young Brownie got a mention. So Jake Brown, who's obviously rookie listed with the Swans, is making a little bit of a mark and had a great game, getting over 20 possessions. And there's quite a few top up kids from the under-18s playing in that game. So Brownie all of a sudden becomes sort of a middle tier type player in that he's listed. And obviously stepping up there, so that's fantastic.
Yeah, awesome for him. I mean, obviously, Swans the last few weeks have been getting a bit of a run of players back from injury and whatever else, and I see Hanbury and Gary Rowan possibly back in, so that obviously makes his path into the top team that little bit tougher. But certainly great to be noticed in dispatches, and you got to imagine that Horst Longmire and the other guys have got a bit of an eye on Brownie too to see how he develops, and maybe not this year, but maybe in good stead for next season.
Absolutely. And female talent, there's always something going on in that area. And Brie McFarlane, who made that Allies team, All-Australian squad.
Yes.
A little bit step further there, she's been invited to do the AFLW Combine. So that's a really big step because that means that they obviously think you're very athletic and you're a potential draftee. So being asked to get put through all those fitness tests and vertical leaps and all that sort of stuff, the fact that she's been invited to that is huge because if she can put her best foot forward, who knows, she might get drafted at the end of the year.
Yeah, well, from memory, mate, I think the Allies that she played in had 3 games in the national championships. Bree played the first, dominated, and then got a bit of a knock, or bit injury, bit of illness.
Yeah.
Couldn't play the last 2, so she's basically progressed to that off the back of 1 performance.
Yeah, yes.
Which means that people have obviously stood up and taken notice. Like you say, she's off to the combine. Recruiters will be there, so she's well and truly in the mix. Maybe, next AFLW draft, her name will be called, which would be awesome.
Yeah, it would be fantastic. So particularly since she hasn't played footy for 4 or 5 years, busy playing other sports, but it's great to have her back.
Yeah.
Anyway, mate, unless you've got some more off-the-cuff stuff that I don't know about, I think that's the show for the week.
That's it for the week, mate. So get out to the junior final Sunday, folks. Last round of home and away stuff for the seniors on Saturday.
Yep. And
we're back next week to do it all again and look at final series for the seniors, I guess.
Absolutely, looking forward to it. Enjoy the weekend of footy, guys.
Thanks, folks.
See ya.